This is the purchase order window in Sage 100 Contractor. I want to note first at the top of the window in the center where there is a source. Purchase orders can be created in this window manually. They can also be exported from a takeoff, as this one was, or exported or created through the service module as well. If the purchase order is created through another source besides manually here, that is denoted in the source. And if it's attached to a document number such as a service work order, that service work order number would appear in the document number. This assists in job costing later, as we'll see. Notice the purchase order has two main parts, the header and the detail lines. The header clearly identifies the job. Purchase orders can also be issued for pieces of equipment as well. Also, maybe other terms, approval dates, delivery dates, and so forth. If you're in a tax district, the purchase order can carry a tax district, and accounts payable invoices will automatically have sales tax computed. We'll talk later a little bit about the statuses, but you do have the ability to have a review status purchase order, and purchase orders can also be closed. The detail lines can contain parts from your database that is not required, but optional. And then, of course, you're listing each item, a quantity, a price, and a total. Also extremely important in job costing later is our cost code and cost type, as well as the general ledger and perhaps sub-account number or department that this purchase order should be coded to. If you think about it, in effect, what you're doing with the purchase order is pre-coding accounts payable invoices. I want to note that on line 2, there is in the to date column a received amount of 1. There's been 1 invoice received against this purchase order, and I can easily see that by looking at the bottom of the screen and clicking on invoices. Drilling down to this invoice, we see that some of the items in the purchase order were satisfied, such as line 2, and then line 1 and line 3 were not. A very handy thing to know is that the next time that this purchase order is referred to in an accounts payable invoice, only the remaining amounts on the purchase order will come into the quantity column. This means that it becomes almost intentional for you to have to exceed the amount of a purchase order. Also valuable to know is that fully filled out purchase order with the general ledger account, the cost code, the cost type, and the job has actually pre-coded the invoice. So when I'm ready to save my invoice, I only need to click the special Save button at the top of the screen that will automatically job cost that invoice according to all of the information provided on the purchase order. This gives us a very, very accurate way to have job costing occur against the committed cost. Speaking of committed cost, as soon as the purchase order is created, it becomes part of the committed cost report on the job. As items are received, of course, those costs move from committed cost into job cost. Your purchase order is fully customizable. The program does come with a sample that you can customize, both the line item detail and the language on the purchase order. There are also numerous reports that exist, such as the purchase order audit, which for a given job will compare what was ordered against what was received, and also the price that something was ordered at versus what it was received at. So as you can see, the purchase order can start in an estimate or manually. As we receive items, they are counted coming out of my committed cost and out of the available amount for invoicing. And your payable invoice entry is extremely easy and accurate based on the information that's in the purchase order. Thanks for coming, and we hope to hear from you soon.